Hey Anna, I'm going to try to make a video explaining trigonometry. I know it's really hard, and until you understand how to do it all, it's going to stay being really hard. But the way I memorize all the coordinates, to me, is fairly easy. And I think it is fairly to learn if you know how to do it. I didn't really figure this out on myself. I mean, I did, but I'm not the first person to think of it. It's not that hard. Okay. First off, this is called the unit circle. The reason it's unit circle is because the radius from the center origin to anywhere is equal to 1. Okay? So from here to here, we know that value is 1. So let's say we know this point is equal to some x value, and we don't know the y value. Okay? Well, this is just the hypotenuse of a triangle. Okay? So if you remembered, x squared plus y squared is equal to the hypotenuse. In this case, the hypotenuse is always 1. Okay? Now, the other thing we need to learn is the x value is equal to the cosine of theta. Okay? And the y value is the sine of theta. Okay. Now that's for any point along the circle. And the reason that's important is our biggest identity is x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. That's the same as cosine squared plus sine squared is equal to 1. That's how they get that, and it's very important to know. Okay. Now, one of the big things you need to learn is cosine is x, sine is y, and you need to remember that because it's very important. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to figure out the values at any point on the circle. Well, not any point, at special increments. Okay? So first off, as I said before, it's cosine comma sine. And that's equal to x comma y. Okay? Another thing you need to learn is theta equals 0 is always this point. Okay? And you need to remember that pi is equal to 180 degrees. So this is 0, this is pi. Okay? So first thing you need to know is we're going to be talking about cosine. Okay? Now cosine is the x value. And you notice when cosine of theta is equal to 0, that means theta is equal to 0, so it's just going out this way. The x value is equal to 1. And the reason we know that is because the radius is always 1. So if cosine 0, there's no y value. So you go straight out to 1. Okay? So I'll write that right there. Now another thing you need to know is when cosine is pi over 2 or 90 degrees, it goes straight up. Okay? And when it goes straight up, it doesn't go left and it doesn't go right, which means it has no x value. And when it has no x value, it's equal to 0. Okay? So I'm going to make a little table. I'll say right here. So theta. And then we're going to say x. So when theta is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. Okay? Now I'm going to write this pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, then pi over 2. Okay? This is the same as 30, 40, 60, and 90 degrees. Okay? Now we said when theta is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. And when theta is equal to pi over 2, or 90 degrees, x is equal to 0. Okay? And we explained why. Now we need to learn how to do the in-between ones, which is pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. The way I always think of it as 30, 45, and 60, because it's a lot easier for me to do these in my head this way. Okay? So about right here is 30 degrees. This is about 45. And we'll say this is about 60. Okay. Now the x value of this one is equal to the square root of 3 divided by 2. The value of this one is the square root of 2 divided by 2. And the square root of this one, or the value of this one, is 1 over 2, or the way I think of it is the square root of 1 divided by 2. Now as you can see, there's a pattern going on here. Okay? So you can think of this, we'll say instead of 1, as the square root of 4 divided by 2. Okay? As you can see, it goes square root of 4 divided by 2. Square root of 3 divided by 2. Square root of 2 divided by 2. Square root of 1 divided by 2. And then the square root of 0 divided by 2. Okay? So I would plug this in over here. So square root of 2 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2. 3, 2, 1 over 2. And you can make this chart to help you memorize it. Okay, so now we're going to want to think, we have half that's done. Okay? And if you memorize this half, you'll be able to do everything. Okay? If you memorize the pattern. So what's going to happen, there's going to be 3 more points over here. 4 more if you include here. Okay? So this one is negative square root of 1 divided by 2. This one's negative square root of 2 divided by 2. Negative square root of 3 divided by 2. Then negative square root of 4 divided by 2. Okay. And if you think about it, this makes sense. These values, the value right here corresponds to this value. Except it's opposite over here, because it's the x value. And x is negative when it comes over here. Likewise, this one, the square root of 3 over 2, corresponds to this one, which is negative square root of 3 over 2. They have the same angle, or not the same angle, but this angle right here is equal to this angle right here. This angle right here is equal to this one right here. And you can see it's symmetric. So if you memorize this, you'll be able to memorize this. And if you aren't able to memorize it, you'll be able to figure it out with a pen and some paper. Okay? Now, as you can guess, it follows the exact same pattern down here. Okay? Except the difference is this value right here is going to have the exact same value of that as that. So this would be negative square root of 3 divided by 2. Negative square root of 2 divided by 2. Negative square root of 1 divided by 2. And then 0 divided by 2. We can say square root if we want. Okay? Now as you can see, this value has the exact same value as that. This one has the exact same value of this one. And this one has the exact same value of this one. And all that makes sense. Because this angle right here is equal to this angle right here. And they're both going to the left of the x-axis. Okay? I'm running out of time, but I'll make the one for the y value, which has a similar pattern. If it helps you, write this out. Okay? Bye.